Hey, what's up, everybody? So, coming to you today, excuse me, I want to discuss the Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor possible fight that is rumored to be taking place next year. I want my thoughts on it. Anybody that knows me personally knows that Mayweather McGregor to me was a fucking joke. It's so amazing how I called that fight exactly down to a T. One of my buddies asked me earlier that morning, who's not really, he just knows that McGregor's a big UFC guy and Mayweather is a big boxing guy. And he asked me that day at a baseball tournament for our sons, he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "This fight's not even going to be close." And he said, "Really?" And I said, "Yes, it's going to end in the late rounds by stoppage because McGregor is not used to fighting 36 minutes, and he's very rarely fought into deep into title fights in the UFC, which are max 25 minutes. So, yes, he's been in a few, but not nearly as often as Mayweather's went 36 minutes over 12 rounds. So, I called that fight. Plus, McGregor's just not a boxer. You can't just jump right in like that. It doesn't work that way. But needless to say, with me making that comment, I think for the sport of boxing, this is terrible. Pacquiao versus McGregor. Maybe for overall interest, but it's a risk because if McGregor were to beat Pacquiao, which I highly doubt that happens, but if he were to beat him, what does that say about how good of a boxer you have to be? That's what I would hope to avoid. But I also don't think McGregor stands a chance in fucking hell of beating Pacquiao. Pacquiao is the real deal, one of the all-time greats. You can argue top 5. You really can. He's right there. Definitely, in my opinion, top 10 all time. He's a great fucking fighter, champion over 8 different weight classes. Excuse me. At 41 years old, he goes and beats, the undefeated and thought to be still somewhat the lineal champion at 147 welterweight. So, in Keith Thurman. And now, he's in the twilight of his career. We all know he wants to run for president of the Philippines. And I think 2022. So, he wants to fight maybe 2 more times, maybe 1. If Pacquiao needs the money, then you can't fault anybody. He's put himself in this position. He's earned it. And I can't fault him for wanting to fight McGregor to make money if he needs the money. I would hope with all the money that he's made, though, that he's put himself and his family in good position to where he doesn't need the money that bad. So why do it? Well, I'm going to be honest. If they're going to fight in an Arab country with fans and just what they're willing to pay over there, he's going to fucking make a lot of money to fight McGregor. So, if he's making 10 to 15 million in the United States, you could maybe quadruple that, maybe even more. He could make 40, 50 million in other countries to fight somebody like Conor McGregor, maybe even more than that. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he went out and got 100 million for that fight. And to make that kind of money off of one fight, and a fight you're going to be heavily favored in, who's going to say no to that? But as a pure boxing fan, a purist, I would hope he stays and fights for his legacy because he still can make a lot of money. But his legacy is, I think he wants to be bigger than Mayweather, and I'm sorry, I think what the argument is somewhat valid that these guys did not fight in their prime, him and Mayweather. And the reason why I think he shouldn't do what Mayweather did and fight McGregor is because he should be better than that. He should think about his legacy where Mayweather never cared. Mayweather only cared about one thing, everybody: money. And he knew by keeping the O by any means necessary on his resume, on his record, and with people hating him, that was just going to make him more money. It was just going to generate him more money. That's all it is. his whole thing is a show. It's a WWE turn heel type complex. He was a good guy. Pretty Boy Floyd, everybody liked him. And then he stepped up against Oscar De La Hoya, who's the consummate good guy, and he made himself Money Mayweather, the bad guy, and he made more money. People wanted to see him lose. That's exactly what happened with Mayweather. Pacquiao's not that guy. Pacquiao is a consummate good guy. He should stay that. And he doesn't need this fight with McGregor unless he needs the money that bad. But I really hope he reconsiders and the rumors aren't true, and that he is going to fight Mikey Garcia, and then maybe close it out with somebody like Errol Spence or even Terrence Crawford. Even though those two guys will be favored to beat him, I still think Manny can make noise against anybody. I still think that. And if he still stays in boxing, why not keep the option open for a Lomachenko fight, maybe at 140? That would be huge. Lomachenko beats Lopez, which he should, and Lomachenko and Pacquiao can get together at 140 pounds in a super fight. Oh, man, that would be money right there. I would love to see that. And, that's what I'm saying. He can make a shitload of money still, as long as he doesn't need it or it's not life-altering money, and because he still should generate a lot of money running into politics. Then I say he passes on this and fights for his legacy, because I think top 10 pound for pound, even though Mayweather has a win over him, and a clean win, the fact that Mayweather didn't go for it and didn't beat him down in that fight, he was just well enough with scoring a points win and not taking too much risk like Mayweather does and did. And the fact that Mayweather fought Andre Berto at the end of his career, which was a fucking joke, and then fought McGregor. Like, you could just tell Mayweather just doesn't want to take the risk. He doesn't want to go for his legacy and be truly the greatest. And that's why I think Manny Pacquiao should be better than that. He should be different. I think Pacquiao should continue to close out his career against two top-tier fighters. Mikey Garcia is a perfect fight for him, in my opinion. And then if he wins, which he would be the favorite, go at it against maybe Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. So we'll see what he decides, for Conor McGregor, I mean, that dude's all for show also. All he cares about is money. So, I mean, why he's doing what he's doing. He's just trying to make some money and maybe hope he can land a fucking left haymaker that sets up a rematch or just generates more money and sends a shockwave through the world of sports. And that's what McGregor wants. But, I really think Pacquiao's in control here on this one, and I hope he does the right thing. But if he definitely needs the money, and the money's gonna be that great, then you can't fault him for considering it. So that's it. That's my thoughts on Manny Pacquiao versus Conor McGregor if the fight takes place next year in 2021. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.